So LineageOS 19 is what we are talking about today, and the device in question is the Redmi K40, also known as Poco F3 globally, and in India this wonderful device is known as the Mi 11X. Now, why is this particular ROM significant and why did I give this a try? Because if you like bare bones ROMs, if you like ROMs which don't have anything except the bare essentials, LineageOS is where you would go. In fact, most of the custom ROMs still use bases from LineageOS, and that's how this OS has matured into a very smooth and debloated version of a custom ROM. So today is a quick review of this particular ROM. I've not used it personally. I've just had it on this phone for 24 hours, ran the benchmarks, got a little feel of the device on this particular OS and how it works. So this is a quick review for you guys, but before we get into the review, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. If you think you like chatting with like-minded people, well, join us on Telegram. We have more than 1500 members over there with similar devices. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. And last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. So right off the bat, let's see what we have here. LineageOS unofficial ROM S. Elliot S stands for Android S, right? Now this is LineageOS 19 unofficial. This is not official. Updated on the 24th of December 2021. So a Merry Christmas to all of you around the globe who is watching this video. Merry Christmas and season's greetings. That's how this particular thumbnail or image of LineageOS is looking as well. That's pretty good. So you have download, flashing guide and screenshots. Unfortunately, you don't really have a changelog, so I can't tell you much about it. But we will definitely go through the flashing guide because it's not that elaborate. It's very basic and it's important for you to understand how it is to be done, right? So you have the ROM, the boot, vendor boot, DTBO, and then how to flash. So you have to flash the boot, vendor boot, and DTBO using fast boot, using command prompt. Similar procedure is followed for ROS installation. The file name will be different, but the commands will be the same. And then you have to boot into the AOSP recovery or LineageOS recovery, and you have to sideload the ROM. You have to sideload GApps, and then you have to do a format data, and you should be good to go. So when you're good to go, you will boot to this particular ROM with this very wallpaper. Now this is a very clean LineageOS wallpaper. To the left, you don't really have Google feed, which is sort of a turn off for me. But that's fine, we can make do with clicking on Google search. As you can see, the ROM feels very snappy, very fluid, and I do have a few applications of my choice installed, basically benchmark applications. Even after that, you can see that there are very few applications, which is always a good thing. I keep saying this because when you have very few applications, the chances of your ROM lagging, jittering and stuff like that is very less. Although this is a Snapdragon 870 we are talking about, so we should not have any major problems, right? Now, if you press and hold over here, you will have home settings in which it gives you access to some basic customizations like allow edit, notification dots, add app icons to the home screen. I don't want that. Allow home screen rotation, show icon labels on desktop and show icon labels in drawer, right? Now, you have Android 12 widgets over here. Pretty standard stuff, working smooth as butter. Then you have wallpaper and style, and you don't have themed icons present. So maybe in a later build, they will include themed icons. Then you can click on change wallpaper, and you do have a few built-in wallpapers over here. So if you say go to a different wallpaper, you will see Monet UI in action. So that's working fine. As you can see, it's doing a great job. And the app drawer is pretty snappy. The launcher does a very good job of giving you a very smooth experience, and that's pretty neat. Right now, apart from this, you don't really have much over here. So if you swipe from the top to bottom, you will see that you have quick tiles over here in which you have screen recorder. And the good thing about screen recorder on AOSP ROMs based on Android 12 or 11 for the Mi 11X is that it doesn't give you any stutters or jitters. So you can actually go ahead and record your gameplay without any worries, and you can see that the recording has started. So let's see here. Say you go to settings, working smooth, absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and stop the recording now, and as always, let's increase the volume a little bit and let's play back the recording. So as you can see, the audio is good, the screen recording is doing a great job, so no worries as far as screen recordings is concerned over here. Now you do have the edit menu over here, which does give you access to a few more quick tiles over here. You have mic access, camera access, location access, and then you have ambient display, always on display, caffeine, heads up, all these options are present and they're working absolutely fine. Now, apart from the quick tiles, let's see here. If you see over here, you have the power menu, which gives you lockdown, power off, and restart. And then you can directly go into settings. So if you go to about phone, you will see that it says device name is Redmi K40. You can change it to whatever you want. And LineageOS version is 19, that is LineageOS 19 unofficial. Android version 12, and the security patch is of December. The kernel that they're using is the Disrupt kernel. Right now, you would say that this is a very bare bones ROM. It doesn't really have a lot of features. So remember what I said at the start of the video, right? This is LineageOS we are talking about, and we are not looking for features. We are looking for smoothness and stability. And this is an unofficial build, so things will get there when they get there. Now, if you go to network and internet, you have your basic Android 12 stuff going on. You have search settings over here. You have apps in which you can go ahead and check and allow and disallow the permissions and all those things. If you go to the battery section, you have battery usage, battery manager, battery percentage. You don't have thermal profiles or the 180 Hertz touch sampling mode, or you don't have any particular game mode included in this particular ROM. Now, apart from this, if you go to sound, you don't really have any, enhancements like hi-fi or MI sound enhancer and stuff like that. Those are missing. Moving on, if you go to display and you go to lock screen, add text on lock screen is an option. Always show time and info is an option, which means always on display is present and it works absolutely fine. Now, as you can see, double tap to wake works fine, and the fingerprint scanner also works fine. Now you have dark theme, night light, colors I've selected, boosted. These features are working. You do have an option of smooth display, which allows you to use the phone at 120 Hertz mode, and I have tested that, right? Now, moving on, if you actually go to wallpaper and style, you get the same menu that we saw earlier. And in security, you just have fingerprint. You don't really have face unlock available, and you have all the security status. All of them are in green, so that is always a good thing, right? Now, moving on, you have Google and then you have system. Now, in system, you do have some sort of customization options. For example, so you do have the power menu over here. You can go ahead and customize it. End call, long press for torch, wake device, answer call with volume buttons, reorient, swap panel on the left, and click to partial screenshot. So these options are present. And then you have status bar customization, which includes some sort of customization for your battery as well, which is always a good thing. You have system profiles over here, and then you also have something called as gestures. Right now, under gestures, you have one-handed mode, system navigation. Unfortunately, you don't really have 3-finger screenshot that is available, right? And then you have developer options. So if you ask me, this is a smooth ROM. It allows you to use this phone as a daily driver with this particular custom ROM. The camera situation is very basic. You can go ahead and install Gcam and use the XML of your choice, and you should be doing just fine. Something that is very early right now is safety net, because safety net doesn't pass. You will have to use Magisk to pass safety net, and neither has the developer stated anything, right? But if you talk about DRM info, well, Widevine L1 certification is present, so you should be able to consume your OTT platforms in HD, right? So that's good. Now, moving on, let's talk about the Geekbench numbers, the CPU throttle test, and all sorts of things. Now, the average score was 216,079 GIPS. CPU throttled to 90% of its max performance, and the maximum score was 231,348 GIPS. Now, remember, this is not the highest score that this device can score. Even on stock ROM, it gives you better numbers. So if you talk about Geekbench, similar story, 801 single core, 2621 multi-core, so very weak scores there. And if you talk about Antutu benchmark over here, 664, 405. So if you ask me, this is a good ROM if you want to experience something like clean Android. I know there are a ton of alternatives available, but yes, if you want to experience something, you can go through the hassle of flashing this ROM. For now, I'm not making a how to install video. Once this particular ROM becomes mainstream, like official, super solid, and works absolutely fine, probably I'll make an install video then. So that's it, guys. That's LineageOS 19 unofficial's latest version for the Mi 11X. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.